Welcome back to Fun with Fords. I'm Eric, and today we are going to be installing a tray mount from Builtright Industries. It goes right up here in this center tray that I've already started taking apart because this was very tricky getting this off, especially the speaker cover. So I already went through and took this off. Now I just got to take these two little 7mm bolts out, and then I can start installing the mount. But this is actually the first thing I bought for this truck way back in early 2019 when I first decided I wanted to buy a Ford. And I chose this as the very first item. It's not the first item that I installed, but we're getting around to it. So let me get the glasses on and we'll get started. Okay. I plan to use this in the tray so that I can mount a CB radio. And I'll have the CB radio sitting right up here. And that'll be coming again in the future. Got the installation bolts. And that is about it to it. It's not difficult to install. You just got to drill the 4 holes, and then secure it with the bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and get this done, and I'll bring you back with the finished product. Okay, one thing before I start drilling holes, I noticed that this is angled and it's not perfectly square. So if I were to put this in square in the box, it will go in crooked. So I need to put it in at an angle so that it's square. So it's square with this. So when it's in the truck, this is in line with the dash. So, and then what I'm going to do, I notice that underneath of the ear, there is a lot of space. So what I want to do is I want to put in a 12-volt socket. So I want to drill to put a 12-volt socket, leave it right in there. Once I got it mounted, 12-volt socket will be here, and then I can have my socket splitter. It can sit really nicely tucked under here, and my CB can sit on top. And I can have some extra 12-volt and a USB outlet, or I can change it to whatever I feel like. I don't necessarily need this many, but it's an option. So I might as well put it in while I've got it. All right, so let me get all these holes drilled, and we'll get back with the finished deal. Okay, I've finished cutting the hole for the 12-volt power plug, and then since I'm going to be mounting a CB, I wanted to be able to run the cable in under the dash. So I put in this little grommet. This is my SWR jumper cable. It'll be able to feed through here and come out and be attached to the CB. All right, let me go ahead and get all this put back together. All right. like I said, if I were to have put this straight, it would actually sit crooked on the dash, and anything I attach it to would also sit crooked. So I want the CB radio to sit square on the dash. So I'm glad I looked at this first. I saw a number of the installation videos, and I almost did that. Get the CB mount set. I'm going to use a couple little rubber grommets just so it doesn't have any vibration. Now for the CB, this is a Uniden 505XL. I don't know. We'll try it out, see if it's any good. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 12-volt plug on the end of this. Have this in here. There we go. And then my power cables will be able to run through the little cutout in the bottom. How you doing, Lindy? Howdy. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Yes. All right. Let's go get this installed. Okay, quick look. I got the wire encased in some wire loom, and I am running it down in under the dash. There's a lot of space in here, so I'm running it all the way down here, and I'm going to put it into the fuse panel. All right. Okay. The next thing we're going to be adding is a noise canceling internal CB speaker. So what I want to do is I want to find a place tucked away where this won't get in the way, but can still be heard. And it's a small cab, so it should be fine. Okay. I'm thinking about putting it under here. There's some space in here that won't interfere with anything. Let's see if I can make this work. Okay, I figured out where I'm going to place it, which is right up under here. And it'll be facing this, so there'll be plenty of, I think, sound that'll be able to come out of it. We'll see. Maybe not. I might have to move it in the future. Who knows? But now we got to run the wire up into the dash. And there it is. Bing. Okay. Okay, now that we got the wire for the internal speaker run, and we're going to add an external speaker. So let's look for a place underneath of the truck to mount this. I don't want to put it in the engine compartment. I'd like to just come right up under here. See if I can find some existing places to mount it. Maybe like right to there. All right, let's see if we can make that happen. Maybe we'll take this bolt off. We'll slip it on here and then tighten it back up. Okay, so we've got the external speaker wired. And here's the internal speaker. I've got the external speaker wired coming down here in through underneath the panel, and then it goes underneath to an existing hole under here underneath the seat that I found. Right there. Didn't have to drill anything. I took a grommet, fed it in there, and then I'm going to put a dab of silicone so it stays watertight. And then I ran it ran the speaker and I mounted it right here behind the footboard to one of the existing bolts. All right, let's get everything wrapped up and put in. Okay, we are back up here and we got everything ran through. Both of the cables for the external speaker and the internal speaker. Got the antenna for the CB run. Got run straight through that little grommeted hole that I got, and then got the 12-volt hooked up. Got the speaker wire hooked up, so now we are ready to put it back into place. We can see if we're going to be able to get this cover on. Take this off. Over here, we can mount the other speaker. What I did was, since this 12-volt that I purchased off Amazon, it's already fused, so I shortened the cord and got it in place. All right, now this cable's a little short. The external speaker cable was short, so I had to try and run it rather. Okay, what I had to do was I had to put some rubber grommet, hard rubber grommet spacers in here in order to lift this up, because the antenna was hitting too much on this and it wasn't allowing me to reach the mounting brackets. Okay, so got everything in place. Got our 12-volt for the CB. Got the Garmin GPS, and then I have a 12-volt USB splitter here. So we have a lot of options. Alright, that's all plugged in. Let's get this mounted up. We'll get the cables run nice and clean. Yeah, next will be the cables for everything. But what I'm going to do is I have the antenna cable for the CB. I'm going to, in the meantime, because I'm not hooking the antenna up just yet, because I'm waiting for my headache rack to get here, and then I'm going to mount the CB antenna on the headache rack instead of mounting it to the actual truck itself. So until that happens, I'm going to coil the cable up, and we will tuck it in behind the dash here until we're ready to use it. Tuck it back here somewhere. There we go. It should be fine. Let's make sure it doesn't get in the way. There we go. All right, let's get those wires all nicely ran, and we'll test everything out. Make sure it powers up. Okay, everything's back together, and that's as cleanly as I could get it, as I could run the cables. I used some of my cable clips, and I used 4 at 6-inch intervals, and then I used one more right here. And I'm not supremely happy with how this looks, but I don't know, maybe I can think of some other way to clean this up a little bit, but for right now, it'll work. So let's power it on and see if it works. Now that links to a tablet that I'm putting right here, which that is pretty neat. When you link it to your tablet and it detects radar, it'll flash red on the screen. It's pretty slick. I'll show that later. All right, let's try the CB. I know there's not an antenna hooked up to it, but we're not going to get anything, but at least we can see if it works. Yep. I can hear the speaker down there. Let's try the PA. All right, PA works. Awesome. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comments. I love questions. I love comments. Have a great day.